the back. Young Min Son, what can go wrong when he's on?
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Hollie's Hotspurs Live, where tonight we do have a little defeat to talk about, but then we're on our way to Bilbao, so it doesn't really matter. And to do so tonight, I'm joined by two fabulous guests. First of all, Darren, it's great to have you back on the show, my friend. How are you?
All good, thank you. All good. Doing my voiceovers, doing my impressions, all of that. It's good. Looking forward to chatting all things Tottenham Hotspur. Really excited.
It should be a good one once we got past Palace. But also joined by Crackers. Crackers, it's amazing to have you back on again. How are you?
Bilbao. That's all I'm going to say all night is Bilbao. I'm good.
I like it.
Bilbao.
I like that. It's good vibes. That's what we're here for. So yeah, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. Unfortunately, Billy isn't able to make it with us. He'll be back next week though, for another show. So wish him a safe journey back, wherever he's travelling from. But let's crack on with it.
Hollie, Billy, do you know what that sounds like? Bilbao.
How did I not clock on to that? But yeah, no, first of all, we're going to talk a little bit about Palace because we do have to have a little bit of a therapy session. Because Darren, yesterday was the 20th league defeat of this season. And I know we'll get onto Bilbao and the happy times later on. But for you, what did you kind of make of that game? And first of all, going into it as well.
Well, I think everyone knew that he was going to save as much as he could the first team. So you had I made a note of it. So Danzo and Davies at the back, Spence obviously, then Sarr, Gray, Bentancur, Basuma, Kulishevsky, and hopefully that's just a knock. It's not anything more complicated than that. Tell and Odegaard. So he played a second team, but I mean, I was talking about this with some Spurs with some Spurs friends on a little WhatsApp group, and you don't expect to roll over that easily. I mean, it was. I can't remember a worse performance. I mean, it was atrocious. I didn't have a clue what he was doing tactically. I just didn't know. I was trying to work out. You got the wing backs inverting, so they were all in the middle. There was Porro at one point playing in central midfield. Mikey Moore was on the left. Then he was on the right. Then Son comes in and sort of Kulishevsky's number sort of 10 role in the middle. Well, that doesn't work. It's never really worked as far as I'm concerned. The space that they had down the wings, it was like the freedom of, of North London. I just didn't get it. I didn't have a clue. And some of those performances, I won't, name names and dig people out necessarily, but I just thought it was atrocious. And all right, we're saving ourselves for Europe, but you've got to. There's 50-odd thousand fans in that stadium paying decent money. Like, they shouldn't be treated to that. There was stories of people like walking out with 20 minutes to go, like a little kid, a friend of ours, mutual friend, Chris Cowlin, said that he heard a little boy said to his dad, "Dad, can we go now? I'm bored." And the dad said, "Yeah, son." And they left, with like 15, because it was absolute dross. I didn't understand what he was trying to do. And, the rhetoric from Ange, we've heard it time and time again. Listen, I'm sorry, we will pick things up when we talk about the final, but I've got to address, what's in front of us. And the rhetoric, it's just like copy-paste, isn't it? Unacceptable, not good enough, da-da-da. It's just like, come on, Ange, man. Like, you're the manager. It's your job. You've got to change things. You can't stand there with your arms folded, and then turning around and walking back. We've seen it time and time again. Do something. Make the changes. If it's unacceptable, you're watching it. Change. It was really upsetting. It actually, because we were on such a high after the Bodo Glint game, it really did set me back. I don't know how you two felt about it, or were you two like, bollocks, it's just the league, that's done. I don't know, what were your opinions on it?
I think it was just so bizarre to have such a structured performance against Bodo, and then Crackers, I don't know how you feel, it was just then total flip of the pan, as in it was like, oh yeah, another walk in the park, don't matter, we've got our final next week.
Yeah, evening everybody, by the way, Darren and Hollie and everybody tuning in. Well done. Another therapy session. We've all gathered our chairs round in the church hall yet again. See if we can't talk ourselves down off the roof once more. Um, Darren makes a really good point. It's absolutely spot on. I saw today from Dundalk Spurs, and you know, guys from there flew over for that game yesterday because they'd booked it all up in advance. So you've got guys and girls that are spending a hell of a lot of money on travel, giving up valuable family finances and time, and coming in and paying up to £100 for a ticket, and then you get given that on the back of the excuse of it being, Bilbao's coming. So, but look, Palace have got their own FA Cup final this Saturday. This Saturday, and they put out a team like that. So I don't. I mean, I watched about the first 20 minutes of it. I could see what was coming. Took a look through, the TV Times or LTV Timos as we get it here, and saw El Clasico was on, and I just sort of had a bit of that whilst like eyeing the Spurs debacle on my phone. But that's easy for me to do because I'm just sat on my sofa. So to dip out of it, it is quite easy. But as I say, when you've sort of paid that type of money and given that time to come along, you should expect more from the club, from the team, from the players. And I'm wondering what's being said to these players in and around training and just within the environs of Tottenham day to day, not just that sort of match day. It's obvious as fans, all our focus, all our eggs are in the Bilbao basket now, aren't they? That's it. Everything's gone in now. This league's just a complete pile of ashes. And you wonder if around the club itself, on the playing side, and from the coaches and from the manager. Well, I mean, the proof's there with the performance and the team that got put out. But it shouldn't be like that, Hollie and listeners and viewers. It just really shouldn't. What you should have seen yesterday was those coming in, busting a gut for the manager to try to then come off the pitch and go, okay, now you've got a decision to make for this European Cup final that's coming up, because I've actually given you a headache. Do you play who you would normally play, or do you play me because I was on fire today? But that just doesn't seem to be the case here. And Ange has been moaning that, well, maybe our league position would have been better if we didn't have Europe this year. Oh, hang on, hello. Man employed to spin like 3 or 4 plates, drops plate, and then like moans that he's had too many plates to spin. This, in the immortal words of Roy Keane, that's your job. That is your job, to manage a squad packed full of internationals and choices most of the time when we haven't got these injuries, and then even your second string players are of a good quality to be able to cope with Sunday, Thursday, and an odd domestic cup game thrown in. That is there, and there's just no way on God's earth that current squad that does need some work is that bad. They are not the 4th worst team in that league when you look through that list. They're just not, which to me means that yes, players need to look at themselves, but so does the structure of the management. It's as simple as that. So, but what do you do? It's so difficult. Then I'm sort of now thinking in the back part of my brain, the front part talking and the back part is thinking away. Oh, this is all sounding very negative, and this is not the vibe that we really need going into that final. It's like, you know, that football club just holds your emotions hostage, doesn't it? You know, with how you want to feel and the effect that it has. But yesterday, that was a debacle. That could have been 5 or 6 or 7, even. You know, that's not on, not on. And you look at a club like Palace, nowhere near the sort of revenue streams that we can pull together, and the size of the club and that as well. You know, they're probably pulling a month what we pull a week. And you think to yourself, how have they got to, a place of having players and a manager and a structure as a football club, just the football alone, which is just looks light and day to where we are at the moment. It's shocking, really.
No,
And don't
it
forget,
really is.
and
Go
don't
on,
forget
go on, Dan.
the ball went in the back of the net. Was it 2 or 3 times? It was disallowed. Was it 2 or 3 times? With two, it's
Yeah,
insane.
it was at least twice, wasn't it? With like the offsides and Holly, don't even get me started on offside, because that Palace goal that got ruled off for offside isn't offside. Okay, it is offside if you want to get your slide rule out and your NHS specs that are held together by a plaster and go, well, look, yeah, look, there's a part of his arm that's offside there. I mean, who got into football for scientists and slide rules and nerd? Like, it's just not offside. It isn't in the spirit of the game. And of course, you've got to have, a cut-off point, and you can't be just a little bit pregnant on these things. But, let's have this daylight rule in. Let's have, it's to an advantage that actually is an advantage. But, half a shoulder actually being offside isn't offside in the spirit of the game, is it? We've not got into the game of football that we love as kids for that to be offside. Whether that's a decision for you or against you, you have to call them out. And yesterday it was a Palace decision that went against them, but it still needs calling out. It just is not offside.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. It was just a cluster of mess yesterday, from officiating to the way we were playing. And obviously, there's this big debate, Darren, because obviously, Decky starts the game and then he gets injured. Now, part of me was thinking, why are you playing him? Then I'm also thinking, well, he needs to be match fit, ready for this final. It's just a bad conundrum to have, isn't it?
Well, this has been our season, hasn't it, Holly? Yeah, this has been our season. They say, he needs the minutes, he needs the game time. You give him the game time and he gets injured. But look at the team that Palace put out with Eze and what's his name with the mask at the front. They had a great team. It's just our luck this season. It's just typical. And hopefully, like I say, it's just a knock and he'll come back. And with Son hopefully coming back, he'll just hit the ground running. So, we'll have to do fingers crossed. I mean, for me, Maddison's, he's been playing well. I mean, that number 10 role, I think he's been doing great, and he's going to be a really big loss, I think. Hopefully, Decky can, if he's in the team, he'll slot into that position. But for me, Maddison's been playing really well. Been doing the job, yeah.
I think that's the thing, because, obviously, you lose Madders. Madders isn't going to come back. And then Darren, to then lose Decky as well, when he's kind of, I wouldn't say he's the same locksmith as Maddison. He plays slightly differently, but he's that creative outlet that we don't necessarily really have in that midfield without one of them or two of them.
Yeah, exactly. But in regards to Kulishevsky, like I said, it's just like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I mean, it's such a shame. And as Crackers said, it's with that team that we've got, there's no way that we should be. And if the three below us weren't so bloody abhorrent, we'd be down there too. So I just don't. I know what the answer is. But it's just such a shame. I just think you should. Back to the point that you made at the very top, Holly. How can you play with such pragmatism in Europe and defenders, like the whole team defending as a unit, people dropping back, really covering their positions, supporting each other, nice passing, really pragmatic, managing the game well. And then just hell for leather, shit or bust in the league with gaps everywhere and holes, and you can come in behind, and you can run in behind me. Where you go? Way. Yeah, I mean, it's just, let's just cross our fingers and hope that, a week on Wednesday he plays the team to the standards that they've been keeping consistently that got us there. That's all I can say. Because if he plays anything like he plays yesterday, my God Almighty, what a shambles that'll be.
It's what I was saying, Holly, it's got to be the messaging, because in that Bodo game, we were 2-0 up in the game, 5-1 up overall. And, we was at 84, 85 minutes, and it really was a case of even Tottenham can't Tottenham this now. It was that comfortable. But there he was defending that zero, like the no goals, defending it and putting balls out for corners and chest bumping each other and grabbing each other and come on and roaring. And then yesterday it was like, hey ho, there's another Palace goal. I mean, how can you go from that to that as a mindset? It just doesn't happen, does it? It's so there's got to be something in the messaging that's being put across for Europe Spurs versus Premier League Spurs. It is just absolute day and night Jekyll and Hyde, isn't it?
But that's the thing that worries me, is the fact that we have this mentality for one group of games, but we don't in the league. And somehow you want to try and get some form of mentality. Well, it is mentality. You want some sort of momentum and mentality going into this final. Not, it's all right, we've got one more Premier League game for this final. We'll just walk through that one and we'll be fine in the final. It just doesn't make sense in my head.
Nah,
and that's the bit. Go on, sorry, Darren.
No, I'm just agreeing. Absolutely. It's worrying. If you go from such a high to watching that dross, and it just brings you down again. I just can't reconcile. Like I said, I just don't understand what he's telling them. I do not understand what the memo is, and it's got to come from Ange. I just don't understand. It's all very well folding your arms and shaking your head and make this and make that, but I don't know what the message is.
It's, do you know what, with Ange and that sort of demeanour and posture that he has, I mean, I've got plenty of thoughts probably for another time if he's still here regarding him and his press conferences and body language and just his general personality before you even get to his football and what that offers. But I was watching the Champions League semi-final, and Inzaghi in his suit in that monsoon, kicking every ball and screaming and just literally being the 12th man all on his own. Never mind what he had in the stands behind him. Now I know kicking and screaming and shouting doesn't win you stuff. Hello, Mr. Arteta. It really doesn't. But it does. I don't know. Just the imagery of it just gives you that little something where you're like, come on, this person means it. And if I was on the pitch seeing my manager doing that, I'd be thinking to myself, I better be putting a shift in here, because this man is dripping wet in his suit, and if I don't, he's likely to tear me limb from limb when I get back in the dressing room, rather than arms folded, just shaking his head as if like the number 8 bus is sort of 10 minutes late yet again, isn't it? It's the optics of it. It's not inspiring. It just doesn't fill you with any confidence, does it?
No. And Oliver Glasner was having a right old. He was laughing and joking and turning around and smiling. He probably thought, this is going to be what a walk in the park this is going to be. The chalk, like you say, chalk and cheese. It was unbelievable.
It is mental. I mean, the only positive to take from that game, although we lost, was the fact that Darren, obviously United lost as well. So it's mad to kind of think of that parallel, that we lost, they lost. Are their eggs in one basket as well? They must be.
I didn't see Match of the Day 2. I've got it recorded, so maybe I'll watch it. But I presume, I don't know if you two can educate me, I presume they did what Ange did, which is field a second-string team and that just didn't show up like we didn't. I mean, that's the only thing I can garner from their result.
Apparently, they actually may have been a touch more woeful than us. From
Really,
I understand, yeah. Which is, I don't know. Is it that's worrying, because you kind of think to yourself, I was hoping they'd try and put some performances in, but it does point to them just putting all their eggs in that one basket as well. So, but yes, let's see. But they were woeful as well. It's, look, losing when you've got a cup final coming up, or something of that ilk, or just after a huge result in another competition, has always happened. It's not just a Tottenham thing, but it's the manner of defeat, isn't it? It's the abject surrender that we saw yesterday. That really hurts. Losing never hurts. Never hurts. It's that, it's the manner of defeat. It's that not trying a leg. That's what really sticks in the throat.
If you're going to go down swinging.
Exactly.
Don't curl up in a ball and get your bleeding tummy tickled, you know.
No, I'm with you. And I think that's the biggest thing, because we've seen performances like that all season. I just think it's aggravating me more that we're so close to a final. And me, if I was a player, I'd want to be putting my all in every game, let alone just that game coming up to that final. Because obviously, Darren, we do have one more 90-minute game to go. I feel like it's going to be very much the same as the one at the weekend. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yes, yeah, exactly. We ended the season. It's Villa and Brighton, isn't it? Yeah, well, Villa are there. They're going to give bloody absolutely everything, aren't they? God Almighty, yeah. I've got a friend, and he said very early on that when we got into the semi-final, he predicted that we'd just lose the rest of the league games. He said, "Don't even forget about the league. Like we won't show up for the league. All our eggs is in the Bilbao basket." So, I mean, yeah, they've got a lot more to fight for than us. Definitely.
And like I said, I don't want to see us roll over, but Crackers, it probably is going to happen before we get on that plane to Bilbao.
Well, look, the other side of that is, no player goes out there with the intention of losing. Footballers, from my experience of working with them, are not losers by definition. They've got to where they've got to because they are, they're fighters, and they want to win everything. They're just ultra competitive people. So nobody goes out there and goes, this, I want to lose today. But it's how much you actually want it. That's the thing. That's the level where it's kind of lacking. But I mean, given what Villa are now chasing, and we're also away, it doesn't bode well, does it? But Tottenham being Tottenham, could well go there and just sort of somehow nick a stupid 1-0 win or something. There's just the bizarre, ridiculous nature of supporting Tottenham in what's been just a weird season all round. It's just been a weird football season across the whole Premier League. It's been odd, and Tottenham's just been absolutely bizarre. I keep thinking ahead to this Brighton game, and if we've done it, it's gonna be party time. I mean, proper party time. And if we don't, well, I think you best move on to the next question, Hollie. I don't even want to contemplate it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a fan of that either. It will not be a fun place to be. But again, if we win it, it's going to be an incredible place to be in the last game of the season, which is why I'm kind of contemplating it. But I'm also like, I know what Spurs are like, and I don't want to put my eggs all in one basket on that last game of the season to go there and have a good time. But Darren, we'll talk about this good time to Bilbao, hopefully, because obviously that is the thing that's literally do or die for Ange, I would say, at this football club. Even regardless, if we do it, I still think he's gone. But how are you feeling going into this European final?
I'm confident. I'm confident if he puts out a team and gives the message to play like he has been playing. I think Manchester United are woeful. I just had a quick look, and I think their last league win was in March. It's something stupid like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just had a look. Like they're rubbish. And I know we're rubbish, but I think we're slightly better than them. And I think that if we play with pragmatism, we can cut them open. I don't think their players are much good. I think some of their players are dross. Hopefully he'll play Casemiro. I just think some of their players are awful. But we've got some proper talent. And we've got Johnson just like making late runs and popping up in the back post. If he could, all right, people don't like him. A lot of people sort of slate him, but is he a high scorer this season, Johnson?
I believe so, yeah.
I believe so. Just popping up at the back post, and a long ball over the top, then in. I think we can beat them. I just hope that the directive from Ange is to play pragmatic and calculated and intellectual football, as opposed to this what we saw yesterday, which is everyone bombing forward and wingers inverting and coming in. I think if we get opened up, like if you look at when he first joined us and we won our first however many games, and then teams went, hold on a minute, and they worked us out and they saw what he was doing, and it was like balls over the top, and they worked out how to play them. I just hope that we don't get found out in the final. I hope that we hold our shape. Everyone defends as a unit. We play as a team, not as individuals. I definitely think we can win. I definitely think, and hopefully get the Villa game out the way, and I hopefully will be really, really excited and really up for it. I really hope so, because we can definitely win. We can definitely beat that lot. They're not a shadow of what they were. And I know Manchester United, big club, big name. Not anymore. Not anymore.
I think the only thing for me that's going to be a bit of confidence crackers is the fact that we've beaten them 3 times this season. That also gives me a little bit of dread, because I know it's Spurs, and when it matters, are we going to play up for it?
Well, I mean, the Frankfurt game, it was expected to be very tough, and we done it. The Bodo game at home, we absolutely tore them to pieces. They lucked out with that one goal, which I think actually done us a favour, because we went into the second leg with it not cigar on, thinking it was over, and we controlled that beautifully, that game. It was magnificent to watch. It was almost Conte Mourinho-esque in its control, and the way we took, just did not let them play, and that's no mean feat going there. I know there's a lot of people that mind of, well, hang on, it's a town of like 4 fishermen and a couple of cod, but believe you me, they are technically a brilliant side, well supported, well funded. They're a good club. You don't get to semi-finals by luck, or do what they've done for the last 10 years in Europe by luck. You just don't. So but we done well there. So all I want to see is Tottenham just go into this final and go in it to win it. Because in 2019, when we went to the Champions League final, we went for the occasion, and Liverpool went there to win. And you could feel that amongst the fan base, the two different fan bases in Madrid when I was there. They went with an expectation. We went and was sort of quite happy to be sat having some tapas and beers at about 70% less than what you pay in London for them. But this time we have to turn up with a belief and go into the game with a belief. And if we do, we've got every chance. We have got every chance of winning this. I'd much rather be playing Man United in this final than I would have been Bilbao in their own city. I really would have. So it's as long as we don't get a Sissoko moment in this game, we've got every chance. But look, if it's 0-0 and then one goes in off of Pedro Porro's backside and we get done, what can you say? It's just one of those ones. As long as we turn up and compete, if we do, I think we can do it. I think we will do it. I really do. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to the trip, looking forward to going, looking forward to just sort of being around everybody, and just enjoying Spurs. Do you know, like having something that when you go to like the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which they now demand that it's called, not the new White Hart Lane, then you kind of on league games, people are like, oh it's like 10-3. Should I have another pint and go in 10 minutes late? There's that little sort of thing of, well, I've had to come today because I've already bought the bloody ticket, and you get that kind of vibe. But this, you'll feel everybody wants to be there. So it'll just be nice to be around something positive related to Spurs. And fabulous city. I've never been, but I've had scouting reports on it, and it's quite a place with its old town and everything. There's some good spots to have a bit of something to eat and drink around there. So looking forward to it, Holes.
Definitely. And that's the thing. I think it's, well, I know lots of people are saying in the chat that we're like favourites and stuff, and I totally get that with how we've played against United this season. And for me, the biggest thing, Darren, is the fact that Sonny could be fit for this one. And now I may put a bit of a spanner in the works because I've been thinking about this in the sense that obviously there was that our route to the final when we played against Liverpool in that Champions League, and we played Lucas for pretty much every game until we got to the final. We stuck Harry Kane in. Part of me is feeling a bit of dread if we get to the final and Sonny starts. Is it going to be the same scenario, do you think? Or do you think it's a different one at this kind of stage?
I think as long as he plays him on the left in his position, yeah, I don't have. I think that was really interesting what you said, Crackers, about the feeling, and I think that the fans and the club, especially going on what happened in 2019, I think you're right. I think it's almost like this is business. Like, if that's what you were alluding to, Crackers, do you know what I mean? Like, we're not there to sort of show up and hear the champions and go, "Oh my God, I'm here! I can't believe it, I'm here!"
Exactly.
I think that this time it's business, and I think the magnitude, compounded by how bad we've been in this season and where we are in the league, I think that hopefully the players and Sonny, while you mentioned him, Hole, understand that this may not happen again in a while, and that we really have got a duty of care to our fans and the club to fucking win this thing. It's really important, and I'm hoping that you're right, Crackers, that the sense of occasion doesn't overawe us, and that we can really play as a team. And I think if we play as a team, I think we've got far better players than Manchester United. Frankly, I don't see us losing it.
It's a bit of a different dynamic as well with Son coming back in, because there hasn't been somebody in the semi-final literally in his position that saved us from the brink of the abyss to take us through and then just get absolutely cruelly tossed aside. I do think that how we performed in that Champions League final, there was a lot of things going on in the background which seemed to be coming out at a later stage, like the watches that was given to the squad with finalists, which really upset the squad, because it was like, well done, here's a watch for making the final. But nobody that plays football is satisfied with second place. You're just not. If you're a footballer, you are a winner by definition. So to reward that, well done, you've at least come second, here's a watch, as Lloris has alluded to in his book, it knocked people. There's also talk of that when Lucas got dropped and Harry came back in, quite a few of those in the team was not happy about that, because Lucas had got his place and Harry may not have been fully fit, but rushed back in. But these are the dynamics and the little things that go on around that 90 minutes that you don't see, but have the cause and effects of what you see on the pitch. A bit like when Ricky Villa got taken off in the first game of the 81 Cup final and trudged off around the edge of the pitch like the loneliest, saddest man in the world. He was like a walking country and western record, wasn't he, as he trudged away. And, Steve Perriman says that after the game, Keith Birkinshaw said to him, he is playing in the replay on Thursday night. He is first name on the team sheet. And lo and behold, he went and done what he done. These are little sliding doors moments. And with this final coming up, I was hearing today that Tottenham, to their credit, have given their 700 staff tickets for free to their staff. Manchester United are charging their staff for those tickets. Now, when you're a footballer, you'll go in through the front gate of the training at Carrington. The man on the gate, good morning, Mr. Smith, Mr. Jones. If he's having to buy his ticket or can't, get his ticket because it's too much money for him, he's not going to be in a happy place with the club. So you don't see a smiling face at the front gate. At Tottenham, you may well do. Then you park up and you bump into Doris or Fred for, are doing a bit of cleaning or a bit of this working on the front desk. Good morning, good morning. Everybody around the club is in a good place because they've got tickets to be able to go and the club's looking after them. All these people, all these bit part players, if you like, that are cooking the meals, are washing kit, are doing groundsman's work, and so on and so forth. If those people in that work environment are happy people, the players are happy people. You have to have happy staff around a club. It feeds into the energy and the feel around the place. So I kind of look at that and go, oh, hang on, you've now got 700 members of Man U staff that on their coffee break, which they now have to pay for as well, by the way, at Manchester United, pay for their coffee, are all going, well, that's a liberty, innit? They want 120 quid for the ticket to be able to go. I ain't got 120 quid to go. You've not got a happy workforce around the place. So, let's hope that we get a good positive energy around Tottenham, around the staff, around the fans, around the stands. I know it's difficult with the results that we've had, possibly this coming Friday and yesterday. But if we can go in with that as well, that really goes a long way to feed into a good performance on the pitch on the night.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good point, actually, with that feeling, because I think it's the first time in a long time. Obviously, the scarves were a nice touch for the away fans to Bodo Glimt. Obviously, then we had the tifo as well at home. And I think there's little things like that as well, Dan, that Crackers is kind of alluding on, that kind of feeds into one. Yes, our results in the Prem are awful, but I feel like we're slowly getting back to this kind of unity within this cup run, at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's got to come from Levy, isn't it? That's a directive from him. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree. And we want everyone to be happy. Like you were saying, we want absolutely everyone buzzing for this. The more, well, you got me a bit sexed up now, Crackers. I think.
Well, the new guys coming. This Vinay, the new CEO, the guy that was previously at Arsenal, and he's got a good track record for being a little bit more engaging than one or two of the familiar faces and the old guard at Tottenham, for a little bit more touchy-feely with the fans and encompassing. I mean, we've seen the output on the socials where the club have given a big up to THFC Flags for all the work that they was doing leading up to the semi-final. And as you said, the scarves on the seats. These are all small, if or nothing, like financial layouts, but they just help to feed into the good feeling. When have you ever seen before the club actually tweeting out to anything other than themselves or the stadium and sort of acknowledging any fan accounts across social media, to see them just before the semi-final home leg thanking THFC Flags was brilliant, because they are the people that are trying to get something to go. So if the club's giving you some help to do that, or just even some recognition, it just gives everybody a little bit more of a positive frame of mind, and it puts them in a little happier place. So I think this new guy coming in may just be a little bit of a breath of fresh air, and dare I say, maybe some of the good work that Change for Tottenham has done has maybe just given them a little kick up their PR backsides, as well as to we might need to be just a little bit more softer and engaging with the fans here. So let's see, let's hope this all works and feeds into Wednesday week.
Definitely, because then we'll have even something more to be happy about. Because, like I say, it's all gearing up for this game next Wednesday. I am stressed, but I'm always stressed when Spurs are playing. But this one's just a little bit more riding on it. But yeah, just one more 90 minutes left, and then we'll be back onto the big one. But you know what? It's been. Oh, go on, Darren. Do you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say the whole idea about where we are in the league, and and I don't want to say if we don't win, because we are going to win, but the idea that if we win, no one will give a toss about 17th. Lose to Villa, lose to Brighton, who gives a? You get nothing, And there's all the gooners saying, "Oh, we're runners up, or we possibility will come second." Who gives a toss? I don't care. Who came second and third in when bloody Man U won the treble. I couldn't tell you. They all I know is they won the treble. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Take your second or your third and shove it up your arse. If we win this trophy, that'll be the thing. That'll be the thing. We've got to win it. We've got to win it. We've got to. And the more Crackers talks, the more buoyed I am. Honestly, I think it's our time. It's got to be our time. It's got to be our time. For the love of God, it's got to be our time.
Hollie, I know I come across as a vibrant young man, but I mean, look, this hair will tell you that's not the hair of a young man, is it? Let me just get everything back on there again. So I've been lucky enough to have seen 81 and 82 and then 84 with the UEFA Cup win. And winning a European Cup hits differently. It really does. 81 and 82 was fantastic, the FA Cup. But 84, I don't know, it just hit a little bit different. It just feels a little bit more premium brand, if you like, and that's not to do down the FA Cup, because that's a competition that I think has been woefully sold down the river, to be honest. Thankfully making a bit of a resurgence now as a thing, but that does hit different to actually put a European trophy on the table. It was a fabulous. It was 2 legs back then as well. The final. It was absolutely fabulous. And for all you TikTokers out there, you young people, on the night of on both legs we had no Glenn Hoddle for both legs. Which was basically having no Harry Kane, if you like, for the mod for all you kids to try and give you a bit of a steer on that. Ozzy Ardiles had about 10 minutes in his legs. We had no Clements in goal, Tony Parks, and we all know what happened there. It was no Stevie Perryman as well, so our absolute talisman and captain was missing, and Graham Roberts stepped up and done a fabulous job there. So, I know we've been talking about players that we are missing for the final. It's time for other heroes to step forward now and come in and just grab that moment and make it yours. So, I mean, that was real shit yourself times when we were missing half a team. They were running on absolute empty that season and got it over the line. So I just hope that after a season where this club has been supported home and away so magnificently, that all those people that have spent money and in some respects time, more importantly, out of their lives to go away pretty much knowing you're going to get done, to give them something to actually go and enjoy from this, car crash of a season. But yeah, it'll hit different. A European Cup will hit differently. It's a lovely feeling, and then it then puts us yet another European Cup ahead of that lot down the road, whose European pedigree is absolutely woeful. Thank you, Mr. Naeem.
And may it continue as well. Honestly, crackers, I listen to you all night, mate.
When
I do
when
really
this goes
appreciate
out, Holly, can you just put "Land of Hope and Glory" underneath that? I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you.
it. Yeah, do it for me, then we'll get that out. No,
Okay.
honestly,
Yeah.
I think that's what we need. We just need a bit of positivity. The amount of dross, the heartache, like you say, those travelling away fans, even home fans at some points this season, it's just been awful. And to come away, hopefully Wednesday next week with a European trophy will just be unreal. And it'll be a great way to kind of hopefully not have to remember the Premier League kind of form and just remember that European trophy.
It'll be what the Premier what it won't it'll cease to exist, and we'll be in the Champions League.
Mm.
And on merit as well. And on merit, thank you very much to all those who want to poo-poo that as well.
No, it will be good. And hopefully, like I say, we'll be loving life next Wednesday. But that kind of wraps up everything from tonight. It's been a good chat, a good therapy session, and we've ended it up on a high. Hopefully, we'll be on a high next week as well. But we'll go around the table, say our goodbyes. So, Darren, thank you once again for joining me. Where can everybody find you doing your thing?
Thank you. I'm Darren Altman. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. Loads of impressions and voiceovers. So come and find me on there. And yes, can't wait now. I'm all buoyed up for this. This is great.
That is good. It is good. But thank you again. And to crackers, like I say, thank you again, my friend, for coming on. Where can everybody find you doing your thing as well?
Thank you, Holly, and everybody that's tuned in, and nice to see you again, Darren. Once again, looking fine and fit. So good on you. Yes, you can find me on MySpace. I have my MySpace page. Friends Reunited. I'm on now, and finally, I'm on Mumsnet as Dorothy Maguire, a hard-working housewife from Minneapolis. Thank you very much.
And we can Skype you as well, can't we?
You can Skype me. You can send me a telex or a fax as well. Or you can send me a message on my BBN pin. There you go.
Down with the kids, crackers,
I'm down with the kids. Don't worry about that.
Oh, dear. But no,
Boy.
Oh no, good fun, good fun. Like I say, thank you to everyone else that's tuned in, that's going to rewatch this, all that good stuff. I am actually not here next Monday, so Jay will be taking the hosting duties for once. So that'll be good fun for him. Hopefully, he'll have a bit more of a preview as well for that Europa League game as well. You can tell that my brain is going into overdrive because I can't talk now. So thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Like I say, back next Monday from 7 o'clock. And until next time, come on, you Spurs.